I'm Edward Wiggins, and last semester I had the pleasure of working at HistoryPin, a digital humanities project that's stationed in actually the Marigny. The whole purpose of the HistoryPin project is to kind of associate stories with geographic locations. So for example, if on the map you're looking at Xavier, you could, in theory, click a link and read an article about the history of Xavier, complete with pictures and stuff. And a really cool feature on HistoryPin is that you're able to overlay pictures from the archives that you upload directly onto where they are right now today. So for instance, I could take a picture of the administration building from the archives and lay it over the current administration building. And there's a slider where you can see how the buildings have kind of evolved over time. And so in that way, the reader is able to get a very vivid, direct picture of how the organization or whatever has changed over time. And I think projects like this are important and necessary because they make history actionable and tangible. So traditionally, history is just kind of taught to us in lectures or it's in books and it's kind of boring. But in this way, you're able to interactively see how history has shaped environments or neighborhoods. So during my time at HistoryPin, I actually worked on a larger project called Mapping Black California, where the larger goal of the project was to kind of map the Black experience in different areas based using the mapping platform. So for instance, there's a map that would map the Black churches in Black areas to kind of see how the churches influenced the progression of those neighborhoods over time. There's also a map that would focus on the locations of Martin Luther King boulevards throughout the area of California and kind of how neighborhoods grew up around those. So these projects kind of, as I said, make it so that history becomes tangible and interactive and isn't just read to you. In that way, the reader can kind of take ownership and see themselves more directly reflected in the history, where they can go to the Martin Luther King Boulevard where they lived and kind of see how it looked back in its heyday and how it kind of has progressed to now. So even though HistoryPin is a history-driven platform, I believe that there are many other benefits that other disciplines can take from using the platform. For instance, you could, in theory, design a map that kind of maps the history of medicine in a certain area. And maybe here's a tour of the scientists in this area and their contributions to science, in the field of science. You can also, in addition to importing pictures, you can import audio files. So a musician could potentially attach audio files to different areas on the map so that they could do a musical tour of an environment or something like that.